Return to Capitol Hill at this hour, and the House vote on whether to recommend former President Trump's Chief of Staff Mark Meadows be held in contempt of Congress for refusing to comply with a subpoena from the committee investigating the January 6th attack. Meadows earlier had turned over documents, included in them text messages from Donald Trump Jr., from Republican lawmakers, and from several Fox News hosts, all urging Meadows to tell the president to do something to stop the attack on the Capitol. Here's our chief Washington correspondent, Jonathan Karl, tonight.
Tonight, in the very chamber that came under attack nearly 1 year ago, a vote on holding former President Trump's chief of staff and former member of Congress, Mark Meadows, in criminal contempt for refusing to fully cooperate with the January 6th investigation.
Mr. Meadows is in contempt. He must testify, and I urge my colleagues to vote yes.
Before he refused to testify, Meadows had turned over some 9,000 documents from his personal cell phones to the committee, including urgent text messages from people close to Trump imploring Meadows to get the president to say something to stop the violence.
For 187 minutes, President Trump refused to act. Let's let that sink in, Madam Speaker. He refused to act. When action by our president was required, it was essential, and it was compelled by his oath to our Constitution.
One of those text messages came from Trump's own son, Donald Trump Jr. Hours before the riot, he and Meadows were laughing it up at the rally outside the White House.
An actual fighter, one of the few, a real fighter. Thank you, Mark.
As the violence unfolded, the president's son sent Meadows a series of frantic texts.
He's got to condemn this ASAP. The Capitol Police tweet is not enough, Donald Trump Jr. texted. Meadows responded, quote, "I'm pushing it hard. I agree." Still, President Trump did not immediately act. Donald Trump Jr. texted again and again, urging action by the president. Quote, "We need an Oval Office address. He has to lead now. It has gone too far and gotten out of hand."
Republican lawmakers also texted Meadows as the Capitol was under attack and Trump was out of sight.
It is really bad up here on the Hill. Another one, the president needs to stop this ASAP. Another one, fix this now.
There were even some pleas from Trump's allies on Fox News, who would later go on to downplay the events of that day.
It wasn't an insurrection.
But on January 6th, a very different message from Laura Ingraham, texting Meadows, quote, "The president needs to tell people in the Capitol to go home. This is hurting all of us. He is destroying his legacy." Sean Hannity texted, quote, "Can he make a statement, ask people to leave the Capitol?" Meadows is now saying he won't talk to the committee because Trump has asked him to keep everything confidential. But on the same day Meadows announced he wouldn't testify, he published a book on his experiences in the White House. If found guilty of criminal contempt, Meadows could face up to a year in prison, but the decision on whether to prosecute him is up to the Justice Department, not up to Congress, and there is no indication yet whether or not DOJ will go forward with that. David?
All right, John Karl tracking this vote tonight for us. John, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.